Everybody, Digital Sticks here, and right now, while VR is in kind of a slump and content creators seem somewhat desperate in their updates and their news and everything that they're circulating, uh, what then is the best VR to buy? If there's not a lot of games coming out, what should you invest in, or should you even worry about VR right now, or is it best to leave it alone until it gets exciting again? Well, my take personally is it's a good time to get into experiences that are lasting and replayable or always enjoyable. Of course, that's not new for me. VR chat being one of the main ones that I like. This game content creators are always creating content for VR chat, and you can create your own content as well. So it doesn't matter what games are being released. There's always something new to explore here, but chances are in VR chat, you're going to establish some of your favorite things, your routines, and all of that. Just like in the real world where we could all head in any direction we wanted to pursue, uh, you know, barring, resources limiting things, but we each have our own hobbies. The options for the hobbies are available to all of us. We could all do the same things. We can all try to do everything, uh, you know, but we don't. Even not accounting for lack of resources, we have different tastes and different interests. Well, VR chat's like that too. There's constantly new content being created, but chances are, in this game, you're going to find your niche. You're going to find some things that you really enjoy that you repeat. You can still go world exploring. You can still jump into Publix and everything else to have new experiences, but you're probably going to establish something that you just like and you return to, and maybe a select set of worlds you vary between, and different groups of friends that you hang out with, and all of that. That then is something that doesn't get old. That's just an experience that you enjoy, that you can come to and enjoy when it sounds good. Just like you don't stop going. Somebody that's into clubbing doesn't stop going clubbing because their town has the same clubs they had last year. Not everything in life is dependent upon a steady flow of brand new things to completely replace the last things. So the gaming works that way, where people play through, especially single player games, they play through the experience and they want something new to play. But multiplayer things are not necessarily like that. The competition's always fresh, and it's always a unique experience when you're playing against other real people. So it's a different genre of games, of course, but there's not a story mode generally for multiplayer. But you can have it. You can have multiplayer games where there's an objective that you're working towards, and it's just like a story mode, only it's happening in real time. But anyways, there's a lull in new games doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything less valuable about VR. It depends on the type of person that you are. So that said, if you're on a device like the Quest, where you're already having compromises to have it more cheaply, and then you're limited in the games that it can run, and your battery life and all of that, well, you're more in need of something new and fresh to keep that investment exciting or interesting. So on my take is, while VR is slow, it's actually, even though there's a lot of talk about the content creators targeting the Quest and less coming to PC VR, the truth is less is coming to any VR at all at the moment. And then the things that are coming to the Quest, they're not necessarily things that people on PC are concerned about. If it's a Quest exclusive, fine. If it happens to come on Steam VR 2, then they might check it out. There's a lot of smaller, shorter experiences. There's no AAA games or anything that are must-haves that are Quest exclusives that are coming out. So there's nobody is in a better position really regarding the current situation with games. So the question mark then is, what is your VR worth if there's not a steady flow of games? And I would say, unless your hobby is reading release notes or watching YouTubers talk about release notes, the better investment is going to be PC VR. and a solid, comfortable, it's a solid PCVR experience. The kit that's available through is the Valve Index. That's the one I'd recommend. But also, if you have a Quest and it has Link, AirLink and all that, your best investment, if you can't afford to replace that completely with a comfortable PCVR headset, is to make that as comfortable as you can and keep PCVR in mind for the things that you do. If you don't have a gaming PC, instead of worrying about a slump in VR, now might be the time to see what you can do to start building a PC. Although, the GPU situation is tough, but it's going to be improving. And there's still things you can do to improve a PC. You can't necessarily make a potato PCVR capable that isn't, but some PCs are not really too far away from having VR capabilities, and you'll be surprised at how much more enjoyable some experiences can be in their PCVR counterparts, even on a low-end PCVR system. A low-end PCVR system can play the full version of VR chat pretty well. The lag that you sometimes get in VR chat is related to user content and lack of, so you're gonna have to probably use some controls, but you've got things you can work with to make most experiences inside this game enjoyable and worth having, and definitely worth experiencing on the PC version versus the Quest standalone version. So that's what I would say. The value of PCVR doesn't go away just because there's not new titles. Sim racers still have their sim. They play the same games. They check out a new game, but they get their competition, they get their setups and all that. They get it all invested and working and tuned to the particular games that they already play for the most part. So they're enjoying those games, and if there's a break between new titles to explore, that's just more time to get better invested in the games that they already play. Flight simming, the best flight sim for VR is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's what you have. So that's not on a Quest platform, that is on PC VR, and that's limitless replayability that a person has. So if they're invested in PC VR and they use the VR with any kind of simulation, that's an ongoing reward. And having so while the content on the Quest may be smaller, shorter experiences that get old and boring and you're tired of replaying them, PCVR has the capability of having much more engaging, continuous content to enjoy. And that's, Beat Saber's on all platforms, and that's just a good exercise game. And there's several other fitness games. Their fitness games are available on all platforms. If anything, some people hesitate to do fitness in a Valve Index because of what it costs, and they're concerned about getting condensation in it and all of that. That's fair enough. Exercise, it's probably not a bad idea to have a Quest as a secondary option, or if fitness is going to be your primary concern. The Quest at its cost is probably perfect for you, because you don't need PCVR to just do a fitness app. And why have the investment? Why risk issues with a expensive setup if you can have this portable standalone setup that's going to get it done for you? And if that's your primary interest, then yeah, the Quest is more than capable of fitness experiences, so you could go with that. But that said, if you have PCVR, the games and things that are good for fitness are also replayable, and you'll still have those available for your investment as well. So the fitness part is kind of a wash for all platforms, but the gaming, the only thing that's coming along with the Quest lately is new updates to its firmware. And that's why I said if you're a fan of release notes, you should probably buy the Quest, because all the hype about the new firmware updates, that's all it is people taking what would have been a release note for just about any other platform, and they're turning it into videos and excitement and hype and all of this for the Quest. So yeah, it's great that they're still doing updates and improvements, but they're not the only ones to do updates and improvements. you know, yes, nobody has added hand tracking to the index, but it already had finger tracking in the controller. So a lot of things that are hyped and everything are things that came out of the box with the premium kit. And some of it just doesn't do, but it's not even what people are buying a PCVR headset for. So while these things are exciting because it's the buzzworthy, it's the buzz basically on a Quest. The reality is there's not really much beyond that. Like the most exciting thing about each one of these firmware updates is that a YouTuber has an easy video they can make and more attention to their affiliate links for all the accessories that a person needs to make the Quest 2 comfortable. So my take is a good, solid PCVR headset and PCVR computer. The value there, it's a solid investment. It may not be every last little title now won't be coming because some of them are going to be strictly Quest titles, and then sometimes the advantage that you should have with the PCVR is not going to be there because somebody targeted the Quest and they merely ported over a Quest version to the PC. So then there's little to no advantage of having a PC over Quest in those circumstances. But that's still not everything. Case in point, as I started off with, VR chat, flight sims, racing sims. Still got Half-Life Alyx is still the best AAA title ever come to VR. So that came to PC VR, and if you want something on par with that, that's going to be coming to PC VR too, if somebody produces it. So the gamers that are wanting really fantastic games and such, they may get some teases with the Quest, so there may even be a decent one come out once in a while. But what they're really craving in games, if they release, are going to be PC VR titles. But in the meantime, again, there's a lot that is replayable and enjoyable, and that's why I would recommend a comfortable PC VR headset, especially if you can add trackers, which I'm not wearing at this moment, but have the finger tracking with the index. That extra immersion, the quality audio, all that just pays off constantly, drastically, every single time you come into a game like VR Chat and enjoy it for several hours at a time. So that is a good investment, and that is so enjoyable that it doesn't really matter. Like a lot of the dialogue surrounding VR and the slump in VR and all that, a lot of that dialogue is the result of people that came in on the Quest and they came in on the hype train and all this excitement and everything, and they're kind of getting down to the realities of their device, and without something new coming out that's tangible, they're noticing, they're losing interest in VR. But again, if you discovered the replayable, constantly enjoyable experiences in VR, I can't speak for everybody. I can definitely speak for myself. I'm only picking up on the so-called slump in VR, the lame VR right now and all that, simply because of the way that it's being discussed in social media. But my personal experience is I'm fine. I've got a quality experience now. I know that the Quest has taken the bar backwards. So I look forward to seeing what comes out in the future, but I'm not really, my expectations are low. Like it depends on, Valve hopefully will move enthusiast grade VR forward, but if they don't, it's because there's not a market, because too many people are further back. The market's going towards the cheap lower end hardware, then it is what it is. But I know I'm already enjoying something that's well above that grade of experience. And if they're waiting for them to catch up, then so be it. That's the extension, the time it takes while they're waiting eagerly to catch up. I'm just simply enjoying the VR I have, and I'm getting extra value out of what I've already bought, because thanks to the bar going backwards, I'm not missing anything. Nothing has left me behind, and I've had this headset now for a couple of years. And it's great I love having investments that last. I don't, if I'd come into VR on the original Quest, and and now I have the question, that would be a completely different experience. But I'm invested and I have something that's lasting, and it is still valuable regardless of whether people are excited about the current state of VR or not. The fact is we're not all devs. It doesn't matter to all of us whether or not devs make a lot of money. If there's experiences that we enjoy, that's what should matter to someone in VR. And, if the devs can't find incentive to make games for VR, then that is what it is. But eventually somebody will, or whatever. But there's a lot to VR as it already is, and we should just simply enjoy it. And my recommendation for enjoying that is to get something that makes it enjoyable, and that is the index. I don't have any affiliate links down below. By recommending an index, I don't get to link to affiliate links for all the accessories you're going to need to make your headset comfortable. It's going to be everything you need it to be out of the box. The best thing I could link to would be, here, now you're going to want trackers. That's it. So something to upgrade your experience instead of try to make your experience playable. And so that's a good investment in VR, regardless of how rapidly content is coming out or not. So if you're new to VR and considering VR, there's tons of games and titles already available to be checking out for a while. So the current slowdown and new releases should be a non-issue as well. But in the meantime, again, most of the hype and stuff is centering around firmware updates. So if you'd like to read release notes, then the Quest 2 is going to be your device, because they get the release notes put into video form for you, and you can watch it, you can get excited about it, and then wait to get the update yourself. But if you're on PC VR, you just get a little alert when you log in that Steam VR version's been updated to blah, blah, blah. And you can click the release notes if you want to, and you're like, wow, sometimes there's actually big things that happen and you never hear about it. But it's because it's expected. It's a software program that they're constantly improving, and you expect those improvements. And all across the board, people constantly update apps and everything else. You're not going to find for just about any other platform the hype for every single update that you get for a Quest. And that, again, is all about marketing. It's not just... Facebook is simply playing the game, and social media people are taking it the rest of the way. And in the meantime, those are the same people that are most concerned about the drought in new games and exciting things, because they're not yet truly content with their VR experience. They're just getting started, they feel like. And they're right. If you're on a Quest 2, you're just getting started. You're not at a quality level of VR. You're just getting started. And with the index kit, you're there. Again, there's quality issues with the index. You might have to do RMAs, and I'm not saying it's the most perfect headset that's ever existed, but when it comes to what they actually tried to produce and make possible for the VR experience, they actually nailed it, and nobody has done better since 2019, since it launched. So for a slowdown in VR, I would recommend having VR that's that enjoyable. So regardless of new experiences coming out, you can greatly enjoy the ones that you already have available to you. And there are a lot. So I'm Digital Sticks. I am out. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.